Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Polybridge. Let's jump into the campaign. We are on the last set of traditional levels, which is Zen Gardens, and then there's a whole new set called Tropical Paradise, but we're going to do these ones first of all. And this is where things get really tricky. So this first one right here is called Can't Wait, and we can click on Don't Show Again and never see that again right there. Anyway, this one, I've been looking at it, and if I remember correctly, the idea is that you want to go like this all the way over here from one side to the other, but first of all you want A1 to go up there, so something like this, right, and then A2 to go to that one. Now we have no hydraulics, which is a really big deal, because how are we going to get a road like this to be in that position and then later on not? Well, the idea I think is that you support something like this. Now bear in mind, everything that I'm doing is really rickety. I do not expect anything we're building right now this is to work. This is just an example. So you have something like that, but then you put a lot of weight over the back area over here. So there's more weight on this side, which is not the way I've really set it up, but you can see the example, right? There's more weight over here, and therefore this could easily fall backwards. And I believe you do that by having something like a road like that, and you use a rope as well attached to something else. I probably need to do more research, but the idea is that the car comes across, goes up the ramp, hits this thing, and then all of this is going to go upwards and collapse, and then it means that the next car can go up like that. I mean, how else would you do it? Because you've got no hydraulics. But anyway, I got a feeling this is going to take me a long time to do, so we're not going to attempt to do it on camera. We're actually going to go all the way back out here, because I'd like to show you something that I discovered in a live stream. And I say I discovered, people told me about it. They made me aware of it, and it's absolutely brilliant. So what we're going to do is just set up a basic level. If you haven't seen the level editor, this is it right here. It's pretty cool. We can drag in a static joint on either side. That's where our bridge will be built from. We can put a chopper, which I haven't seen in the game yet. I mean, there's some other things here as well. We've got a penny farthing. Now that is hilarious. I definitely want to see one of those go over this bridge. Anyway, what I want to show you is... Have I forgotten anything here? I think that's all we need to do. Yeah, so we've got unlimited everything. Right, we go into build mode. I want to show you this tool down the bottom here. There's potentially more tools here which I haven't quite figured out, but this one is called the tracing tool. So in order to go from one side to the other, we need to build a road. And we're going to make that road curved for this video. So we're going to grab the road tool, we're going to click fill, and it fills it in for us, which is pretty fantastic. Now let's say we select some wood, we use the tracing tool again, we're going to make an arc that's even bigger here, and then we're going to fill that one in with wood as well. And it just so happens that this has been evenly placed. Oh, are we going to have trouble? Yeah, like that. Okay, so that's not so good. So let's undo those moves. Hear the little squeaky mouse. Let's drag this down a fair bit and try again. And once again, it's done exactly what I wanted it to do. But I'll show you, you can adjust the max length. So if we put it at something like that and fill it in, then you'll see there are a lot more collections. Collections? Connections. Say the right word, X. Come on now. Right. And we can just fill in all of these gaps, and we have made a very sturdy bridge, I believe. It actually may not be that sturdy, but it should be reasonable. And you can see that the bike goes over it. Awesome! First attempt, no problem at all. Now comes the penny farthing. Good luck, guy. I've got a feeling that that guy might quite easily fall over. Yep, there you go. Doesn't work for the penny farthing. But I just wanted to show you those tools. They're extremely cool. And to go a little bit more in depth, you have like up and down for height. Pretty obvious. But then if you go out like this, you can make it bulge outwards more, or make it come into a singular point. So you can even do that. That's ridiculous. Can we get some road placing going on here, please? Let's delete all of that. I want to see what this looks like. It'll actually do it for you. Incredible. So yeah, right, I'm going to go back over to that level. I'm going to scratch my head and see if we can make a start on it. So whatever I said before, I don't think I described this very well, but now I figured out exactly how this is going to work. Basically, we've got a cable here that's sort of leveraging this point and holding the back bit to the front bit, and this isn't fixed to anything else anywhere else. So what it means is, when the car comes through and hits that road, it's going to break it, and then this is going to fall apart. Problem is, look at that, it stays there, but it's never going to support the car, but everything else there gets destroyed. Unfortunately, because the car didn't reach its destination, it falls back onto the bridge. But all these other parts technically aren't going to hit the bridge, it seems, so that actually has some potential to work. Now, another idea popped into my mind, which was to perhaps add a little support strut like that, which means this might kick in a little bit later. And there you go. Now the car, look at that. The car didn't get to the top. Where are you going, police car? You're going down in the river. It didn't get to the top, but we could try this with perhaps steel, although that might provide too much support. There's also the option to put a beam there as well. And already we're over budget, so this is, you know, never going to work, but you can sort of see where we're going. And the car went through the second bit, so yeah, not quite. This is going to take a lot of trial and error. Okay, I decided to mess around with this a little bit. We're completing the level by having our bridge break, and I think it would be way above my ability to do this without it breaking. I mean, wait a minute, it has to break because the cable will break over here, so other parts of the bridge breaking is fine. This gets to its destination, but it shows you something important, which is that this car gets set off when the police car is back here, and it's going a lot slower. So the way I'd set up this level was for the police car to go on a bridge underneath, and I don't think that's going to work. However, there might be a slight possibility that we can fix something in. Another thing to point out is that this is curved, and once again, just using the tracing tool to create that curve. So it looks like we might have to redo this a little bit, but I like the idea of this sort of being a one use and it breaking as the car goes over. Well, starting to feel like maybe this isn't the way to do this level. We've got our first bridge, which despite making it extend out a little bit further, maybe I didn't actually make it extend out further at all, I'm not sure. But the second bridge underneath, this just isn't going to work because the first car shoots away. I mean, I haven't changed anything. Why did that happen? Maybe if we just tweak something up here. Oh, maybe it's because of that down there. Okay, I know what's wrong. Let's delete that. Let's delete that as well. And we're going to put a steel beam between here and here. And try again. So, first car. Up it goes. Sometimes it lands. Maybe I need to tweak that back again. This is so annoying. It worked fine a moment ago. Wow, okay. I'm not sure what to do then. If I put a piece of wood here, I'm going to guess that that breaks. Let's see. Well, do you know what oh, it's so funny watching the bridge fall down. Well, this is the only way that I get to show you. That bridge falls down, don't worry about it. This one lands up here, then goes there. And that one's been stopped, but anyway, they'll arrive at the same point. I just don't know what to do. I got to try something different. I should have started recording a while ago because this concept has just been on track for a while now. So I've been looking at this and been thinking the speed at which this one approaches means it could probably do a jump, and then that means the one following it could then continue on its way, which is sort of how this goes right here, right? Then what we just need to have is the one down here come after this one's made its way over the top. And at the moment the timing for that isn't so great. Let me slow this down. So there's a few things to point out here, but that one makes it up. And then this one comes, and that one, yeah, that happens. But it looks like if I had left that playing, it might have actually been okay. Let's reinforce this here. This is probably not the best way to do it. Can you also connect to that? Can we make you connect to that? We can. Amazing. So let's see that again. So over you go. Nice. Great landing. Do a little flip. All of it's good. This thing, just not strong enough, but I think the one underneath is going to come up just right. Anyway, we've added a delay here by adding a road. It sort of pushes into the car to slow it down a little bit, and the same thing over here as well is happening. So that didn't really make too much of a difference. I feel like maybe the shape and size of this might, though, to give it a little bit more support. You're not going to reach there. Let's just do that with a rope. I don't think that's really going to help, but we will see. So yeah, get slowed down just means it leaves a little bit later. This one is further along the bridge, which means it can go over when this one goes under. And, oh! Oh my days, it got stuck. Let's make that a tiny bit shorter. Maybe the smallest difference will make a big one. So, that car gets over just okay. Come on now! Oh, it gets stuck again. I'm thinking it's this slope right here is a little too steep. Let's adjust that. That might change the dynamics of the bridge in a way we don't like, but no, it seems to be okay. That one's landed up the top again. Along goes the police car, and... yes! No! Oh! That breaks as it lands. What are the odds? What are the odds? Let's give that a little bit of reinforcement. Some wood down here. Might just do the trick. That's probably going to change something else and then it's all going to break, right? That's usually how it goes. Okay. So, same dealio. You drop down. And it didn't break. It didn't break. It broke when it landed. So that means we've done it, right? That's all correct? Excellent. I really enjoyed that. Hey, and my score is 37. Now, I'm not going to do this, but I do want to mention it. We used a lot of steel there. I reckon some of it you could have tweaked. Changed to wood. Reduced the amount of steel being used, but we're not going to get into that. We're going to go to the next level, which is known as seesaw. So that is a boat and car A, then hydraulics and boat and car C. Seesaw, the hint is in the name. Wait a minute, what level is this? We've done this one before, I'm thinking. Yeah, we've got to go back and check. 6-6 is the next new one. It's called Only One. So this one is, let's see. The car goes first, hydraulics 2 boats, hydraulics second car. So it's a simple from one side to the other, open and close for the boats. What was the name of the level? Only One? Is that a hint? Only 11 pieces of road. Oh, for a second there I was thinking something fascinating is going to happen. Oh, only one hydraulic. Okay, well I was thinking of a hydraulic on either side. I was thinking this looked pretty easy. Here's my initial thoughts. We're going to just build something up here. We need like a, I'm thinking of a pivot, but sort of a double pivot. Maybe if we have a little structure for... Right, I'm going to build like a prototype here. We're going to have some split joints there. I might change it so the split joint is 1 over. And then we're going to build little supports going across like this. Now, the classic way to do this is to, of course, copy and paste. But this is going to be its own little individual... Hey, I wanted to do that again. Own little individual bridge. And it's going to be the bit that gets pivoted. So, we've got that. Then this is going. Is this really going to work? Yeah, I think it might. So we're going to go up to that height. I think that's sort of even. Our hydraulics is going to be there. And then we're going to have like a cable from here, maybe from there to there. That looks strong. Cool, okay. Now, I'm starting to think, hey, this might work in one go. I shouldn't rely on that. In fact, there's no chance. It never happens. I always think it from time to time. It might work in one try. It never does. Can we put wood in the middle here? Do we really need... we probably do. We probably do need steel. I'm trying to avoid using a lot of steel. So you can't go all the way over there. We're going to have some sort of thing in the middle. And then it's going to do that. Will that work? No, I don't think that will. Will it? Something's got to be different about this. I just can't quite figure out what. So this just might look crazy. In fact, it does look crazy. And I reckon these are probably going to need to go... like further apart from one another to begin with. Let's go right the way down. Is that the maximum width for the hydraulics? Maybe we should go back up. I don't know. Trial and error, trial and error. Anyway, we need to look at these 2 points here like they're very solid. And I really don't know if this is going to work or not. I mean, it's looking good. It's not crashing or falling apart. Right, and then we have our hydraulics phase and it falls apart. Now, the interesting thing there is that this didn't come together immediately. Something broke on this side and, you know, then it tipped over. I'm wondering... Right, we're going to reinforce these bridges with extra bits in the middle. But I'm wondering if it's always going to flip to one side. Whatever side it decides to be the weakest, that it will flip to it. Okay, the reinforcement here will help, but then we run into another problem, which is, oh my god, it's going to work amazing. And then... well, that time... yeah, there you go. Do you see it start to sway? That's another problem. That is another problem. I think this central idea is flawed, and I don't really know how to make it not flawed. Unflawed? Yeah. I can barely believe it, but what I built here almost works. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, yeah, we can easily make it so this platform comes over here and our bridges on either side are a little bit smaller. That's good. But what we could do is we could sort of pull downwards through the middle with a single hydraulics, and then that still pulls something into the middle. Now it didn't work, it swayed to either side again, so I added some cables here expecting them to break, because I'm looking at it like the best place it can get to is around here, but that might actually be enough. If it goes any further, then those cables snap, right? So let's zoom in, let's see what happens right here, because there's a little bit of swaying back and forth, but it kind of works. It just doesn't pull it down far enough, so you can see, whoa, 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 wait a minute, that's as far as I go, says the one cable, and eventually it wiggles itself down into this position where they both quite easily get clipped. So what we need is to have, oh wow, that's good, this thing be bigger, and as we drag it up there, the cables get bigger for it to be pulled down further, so I think we might need something like that as well. And let's speed it up so we can see it in action. Same thing happens again. Now that is a lot more to deal with in terms of looseness, and it doesn't quite sort itself out, and that one almost survived it. Fascinating. I can't help but feel we're sort of near there. Maybe moving this one down as well threw it off balance, as we only needed to adjust the other one. So again, not looking so great. Yikes, was that all it had? Well, I can't help but feel somewhere in there is the answer. I guess we just got to work on it a bit more. This is going to be a painful one, isn't it? So right, decided to go for something lower down here, have this under there. There's no extra cables hanging onto it, which might be something we need. So that happens. Right, these go through. And you're thinking, well done. Well, no. No, because when it goes back up, it goes over to one side. And I don't know how to stop that. See you later, pink car. I believe we've done it, but it hasn't been fully tested. So, I started off by trying to make these a lot lighter. I removed some of the wooden frames, changed the size, kept doing bits and bobs. Nothing quite was working. Then I started to think about how far out these cables are reaching. So I swapped to make them come in a little bit further, and that seems to have increased the stability massively. So we will give this a whirl. We will slow it down so you can see it in its glory. So it pulls downwards, and notice how there's not a lot of wobbling. That is a very good sign. And I guess if it were to pull from these points, it might have a little bit more wobble about it. Then when it goes back, I mean, it doesn't even look like there's a tiny bit. And then bam, both of the joints connect at the same time. Over goes that car after it falls down off of there, and it makes its way to the other side, and that's a job well done. Under budget, but on the leaderboard, 32. Not bad at all. I am happy with that. Let's go and see where the next level is. Okay, so we've got 3 more in this area. I think what we're going to do is end the episode here. They're going to be a little bit shorter from now on because the levels are getting harder and harder. So we'll try and do these through these 3 in the next one. And then that may mean a whole bunch more episodes. In fact, there's a lot of levels there, but this is probably very difficult stuff. So yeah, they're going to be in the next episode, hopefully. And that's going to be it from this one. If you've enjoyed it, leave a like. As always, thank you for the support on the videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.